Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the poem, second poem actually, Geography lesson. This poem is related to geography. That's why the writer Zulfikar Ghosh named it as Geography lesson. Can you imagine what your city would look like if you saw it from 10,000 feet above the ground? You can imagine a thing if you look it from far distance. It looks sometimes very clear, neatly planned and perfect in proportion like a geometric design. This is the poet's opinion that it would looking like a geometric design. It would strike you as something very different from what it actually is while you are in the thick of it. When you look the ground from the far distance from sky, it would be look quite different, and sometimes you can amazed from the scene of the ground. Here is a poet description of just such a view of the city. In this poem, the poet describes his experience when he was flying with in a jet. And at the same time, some questions arise in the mind of the poet, and he also describes that questions. When the jet sprang into the sky, the poet says that my aeroplane goes in high in the sky. It was clear as the aeroplane go high in the sky. It was clear. It was confirmed why the city had developed the way it had. The poet understand why the cities are developed in the bank of rivers or even where they were. Okay, seeing it scaled 6 inches to the mile, it was clear from 6 inch to miles. It means every inch situation is clear. There seemed an inevitability about what on ground had looked absurd. It was also clear that the population on the ground situated in that way that was very necessary. Inevitability it means the situation that cannot be avoided. It means the cities are developed on the ground in that way it was necessary about what on ground had looked absurd. Absurd without order. The situation that situated on the ground, absurd situation is also necessary sometimes because of the ground situation. Unplanned and without style. Okay. When the jet sprang into the sky, it means when the jet plane fly high in the air, it was totally clear why the cities are developed on that way. Okay. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, it was clear why the country had cities where the rivers ran. When the jet aeroplane fly more high in the sky, the second level of clarity is visible. Why the cities in the country developed on the bank of rivers? Because water and land is basic needs of the man. That's why the cities were developed on the bank of river. And why the valleys are populated? Why the valleys are populated is means people like to stay at lands and the bank of rivers. The logic of geography that land and water attracts man. This is a logic of geography that land and water is the basic need of man. Okay, was clearly delineated. Delineated it means clearly described. Clearly described. The meaning of delineated it means clearly described from the height that water and land is basic need of man. When the jet reached 10,000 feet, this was clear to reach at 10,000 feet high. When the jet rose 6 miles high, means when the aeroplane goes more high in the sky, 6 miles high. It means near about 9 kilometer high. It was clear the earth was round. On that position, the clarity of earth looks like a rounded thing, and that it had more sea than land. It means only two things on that position you can see, the sea and the land. Okay, as you go in on the high position, the visibility of the earth is more clear. But it was difficult to understand that the men on the earth found causes to hate each other. Only the thing that is not understandable to writer is the causes of hate to each other. Why the people of the earth quarrels to each other to build walls across cities. To build walls across cities, it means the division of the land in the form of countries, form of cities, and this is also the cause of quarrel, and this is also the cause of killing. Okay, as you know, the writer's name is Zulfikar Ghosh. Uh, the writer is basically born in Pakistan before the independence of India, and after that, Zulfikar Ghosh settled in India, and nowadays the writer is completely settled in America. So Ghosh experienced the pain of division of land. That's why he wrote such a kind of poem. From that height, it was not clear why. The writer is unable to understand why people fight to each other. This was not clear from the height of the sky. Okay, so uh, with that, this poem ends. But some questions we would like to take. Here is three important words. You, you have to write it, in your fair notebook. Inevitable, that cannot be avoided. The situation, the thing that you can't avoid. Okay, you have to adopt it. Okay, absurd without plan or order. If everything, if anything, is not in a correct order, that is called absurd. Delineate it. It means described clearly. Sown. It means described clearly. Okay. Working with the poem, find three or four phrases in stanzas one and two. There is only the work for you for one and two stanza, which are likely to occur in a geography lesson. What is the term that comes in a geography lesson? Is you can see the poem is scaled 6 inches to the mile. This is a term of geography. And second is when the cities where the rivers ran. This is also a term of geography. Cities where the rivers ran. Okay. And valley were populated. The valleys were populated. This is also the term of geography. The earth was round. This is also a term of geography. Earth was round. Okay. 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 So those four lines are the term of geography. So let us move on the second question. Seen from the window of an airplane, the city appears. What kind of city appears? As observed as on ground? No. As neat as a map? No. As developed as necessary? The third statement is correct. As developed as necessary. That's why the poet describes it describes it there seemed an inevitability. इससे बचा नहीं जा सकता. This was necessary. There seemed an inevitability that was needed, that cannot be avoided. This is the reason. That's why we choose the statement number three, as developed as necessary. So third is right. Okay. Question number three. Which of the following statements are examples of the logic of geography? Logic of geography. There are cities where there are rivers. The first statement is correct. There are cities where there are rivers. Second, cities appear as they are not from 6 miles above the ground. Incorrect. Third is, it is easy to understand why valleys are populated. This is also correct. It is easy to understand why valleys are populated. The logic of geography. Because there were valleys, there were people. It is difficult to understand why humans hate and kill one another. No, not correct. Fifth sentence statement is the earth is round and it has more sea than land. It is also correct. So, one, third, and fifth sentences are correct. The logic of geography. Mention two things that are clear from the height. Clear from the height. What is clear? The first thing that is clear from height is why countries. had cities near rivers? Why countries had cities near rivers? This is clear. And second is also clear from the height. Earth was round. Earth was round. So two statement, two things are clear from the height. That is why countries has cities near river. Earth was round. You can see this in your poem. Why city? Okay. Why city had cities near river? Okay. Why cities? Okay. And the second question, that is not not clear, not clear from the height is why men would build borders and walls around cities. First thing is that is not clear why men build borders and wall around cities. And second, that is not clear why men hate each other. Okay. So with that, this poem is completed, and in next class we will start from lesson number 3 in Honeydew or any chapter from supplement. So, thank you, students.